So, yeah, getting this thing started. Let's start off simple. How would you describe what your work is?
Ooh. Well, I have to say that one of the things that I'm happy with is not to be a specialized uh, person because in this society we have to use rules, right? So I do many things like artistic things, but as a therapist, maybe it's my main work. Yes, it's a therapist, someone um, that look at the person or the being, because there are two things, the being and the person that
Hmm.
comes, and regarding, I try to see what human needs, basic needs, that being are not fulfilled, and not desires. Desires are just projections. Needs, affection, acceptance, many things. And this society does not allow us to be ourselves. So everybody has that. So, and what I do from all humbleness and my heart is to mirror that being and give what I feel it's missing. And some people what needs it's to, because they have very mind works, it's to move the energy in other ways,
Hmm.
like artistic ways to move the energy, because if you are all the time here, it's not holistic, it's not in balance your life all the time, in the head, you know so what I'm trying my work, it's already for, I talk a lot, it's to bring more balance in the lives of the people that come. What I would love is to find true seekers, I have to say, but I dropped that idea. And what I'm trying to do is just to help, and not everybody has a thirst for spiritual growth, but what they want is to be more happy, be more connected, be more themselves. And in the level of commitment and depth that I see on them, then I respond in different ways. So, for
Hmm.
example, it's somebody that it's really, with a thirst for spiritual growth. I will be somebody different from other, that maybe it's somebody that does not have the courage to quit this a marriage or whatever, or have a lot of conflict in the relationship. So I'm going to focus in that part, the more human part,
Yeah.
because for me, if you cannot be happy with your environment, to go for a spiritual search, it's a waste, you know.
Mm. Hmm. So, just simply holding space for an individual.
Yes, holding a space and mirroring in terms that I'm very like, like a scorpion.
Yeah,
I'm not a guy to console you.
I see.
So if you're looking for, I'm not this kind of guy. So
Hmm.
my love, it's sometimes bitter, you know.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, but I'm saying the truth in the most very, the most kind way I can. But I speak the truth, and inside of you, if you close your eyes, if you feel your life, your relationships, you know that something is not well, uh, and because everybody, we have been conditioned to to be slaves, and to use a language that it's very violent, judging all the time. um, for a human being, it's really difficult to be happy, I mean, to be in harmony with your environment, with yourself, with other people, to don't choose, I like this, I don't like that, to be, in this, everything, it's nice to see in this point of acceptance. You have to change the language that you are using, um, for you and for others.
Mm.
In fact, that language, it's based on non-violent communication, but instead of that, I took a unicorn. I have a unicorn puppet. You
Okay.
know, yeah, because for me, society it's always speaking bullshit. And unicorns speaking rainbows. So this is what I'm trying to.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, so it's seems like to me like you know what other people need even though they don't necessarily know that they need it, right?
Yeah, just people are like, imagine like it's like a flower and you are a gardener.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. And the gardener starts, "Blah, because you look at the flower, oh, this is an insect, and it's not, I mean, just being with the person and creating of a space of acceptance in which the other person can feel, that can be mute and non judge, because I don't judge, I say the truth, but not like like more in a neutral way, then for me healing can happen. And
Mm.
and and sometimes it's not about answering their questions.
Yeah. So what
Yeah.
would you say healing is about? If we could try and describe how one heals, and I know it probably pertains to the specific individual, but if we could try and define it in a general sense, like what is this healing?
For the mystic perspective, you can you should see healing in different dimensions. So first is healing of the body, healing of the mind, and healing of the soul. And for healing of the body, um, there are many expressions of that healing. For example, we have been privated of expressing our emotions to touch. People is scared to touch. In fact, they open this touch experience only with these most intimate relationships. This is a society game,
Yeah.
to keep us, disconnected from other people. And so healing that can happen in the body, it's maybe to first understand that you have a blockage in your sense, and then to really enjoy your own touch with yourself. It's the first step. This is more tantra based,
Yeah.
and then others. Healing can be an understanding, because maybe you have read that the fire burns, and your mind thinks that knows, but you are still, getting on fire, and your life is a mess because you're still. So if a really understanding, existential understanding happens in the mind about yourself, then a healing can happen, because everybody is intelligence. Everybody is intelligence. The mind it's not intelligent. The mind it's cunning, but like every kid is intelligent. It's they don't need they see. They don't need to think about life. They see things, and they act because they see. And so this is to bring people in this healing, right? Um, for example, one of the things that I don't like at all, it's to make people dependent on me.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, this is not good for the pocket, I have to say. But the people that come, I do whatever I can to bring them tools to be responsible of their own lives and understand their own lives. And every human being is different, so they have to find their own way. I cannot tell them the way. So the way is themselves. They are the answer. So in that case, for me, the healing is to having these tools to understand. And if you don't understand that you are living in a body, in a vehicle, you need to go to the space. You are using a spacesuit, right?
Yeah.
So if you are energy, or you are going in a apparent material, I mean physical, because everything is energy, right? So
Yeah.
apparent physical wall, you need the suit. This is the body mind, and this suit has a computer, and a computer, this is the hardware, has a software that it's the ego, the mind, it's great. And in the natural state, this computer has been created to help us. Imagine that you aren't playing a video game, the computer is saying things, yes, because if the computer is your friend and it's not in the natural state, it's a good guy.
Yeah.
It helps you. But in our subversive reality, in which our hearts have been bypassed in the educational system, and hack the mind to overload the logical side of the mind, and put a lot of bullshit information and patterns and behaviors and conditionings there, then this guy that in natural state, it's a good guy, it's a bad guy. It
Mm-hmm.
does not work to help you, it works to help the system. And if you are not aware of this, it doesn't matter what I can tell you, it's not healing happen, because every day, every moment, this guy is going to fuck you up,
Uh-huh.
and we'll find the ways to do it.
Mm.
The mind is very cunning, and it's good because it's a good tool. But when this tool is against you, then so first, if you realize of this or understand this, it's a good point to that healing happen. And then when you understand that this guy, this artificial intelligence, it's based on two different personalities, one extreme of the other. This is super logical, survive, money, and this is art, love. So
Mm.
they speak complete different languages, complete different goals. And sometimes this guy it's this side and this guy is that side. So if you are not aware of this, your life is a mess, because sometimes you are doing things for and then you're, oh, why I do that? Yes, was because you are following the instructions of the mind, and in that moment was more the feminine part, the irrational part, the creative part, and sometimes was the logical part. And if your relations decide it's acting, your relations are not going to be lovely. It's I mean, common sense, right?
Yeah.
If a robot is taking possession of your relations or the way you relate with life, it's not going to. But yeah, maybe this guy help you to have a lot of objects, a lot of people that comes in my sessions. They don't have any problem in money, but they have invested so much of themselves for that then they are very poor in terms of creativity, in terms of art, in terms of love, in terms of because they invest so much to get security, because this guy wants you because he wants to help you to be secure, but too much of everything is too much. So for me, I'm the holistic guy. So a balance, a little piece of anything, everything in life, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Too much of everything, I don't like the extremes.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I like what you said, bringing people into the natural state. I like that. I've actually never heard it described like that. Um, and it's interesting when you put it like that, because right now it seems like the unnatural state is our natural state, you
We
know?
are upside down, yes.
Yeah, we're upside down, but healing is actually, yes, it's bringing us into a natural flow, like a natural rhythm of being a human being. We're just it seems like right now human beings at a collective level and personally speaking from experience, we're just like misaligned with the dharma, one could say. We're just misaligned with how we're I guess supposed to be, how a human being is supposed to function, um, physically, spiritually, and mentally. We are off balance, it seems. And I think healing is really, yes, it's just, we're just getting it right. We're just kind of becoming more in tune with what it means to be simply a human being. Um, would you say that there is a sort of commonality in healing between people? Like, is there a general direction? How do I put this? Is there like, what is the similarity that you bring people to into this natural state? Like, how would you describe a natural human being? Is there an orientation that you can describe and what it means to be a natural human being or to live
A
holistically?
natural human being cannot be described, because this is one of the problems of this system, that this system has normalized, and this normalization have killed our uniqueness.
Uh-huh.
So it's the opposite.
I see.
Every human being, let's put it in that way. Existence has made you unique. But these systems always wants you to be somebody, become something, to be exploited, a tool to be, to hold this status quo. And the healing is to you really accept yourself. So what I do is,
Mm.
and it's not only about words. Something happens because I spread a energy field as well, that maybe You cannot feel at all in distance, or maybe yes, but it. I mean, this is part of the healing, okay?
Yeah.
But this is part of the invisible side of reality. In the touchy side, I create a space of acceptance, because only you can really know, not by intellectual knowledge, knowing who you really are, what you really are, and to understand the body and the mind, that it has talents and it has different characteristics. Life is like an existential video game. Put it in that way. Every time that you reincarnate, the character, it's different. So you have to, not you have to, but if you don't discover and learn what are the limitations and the gifts of this specific character that you have now, you cannot play with all joy and all possibilities that you have.
Yeah.
And the thing is that instead of being yourself, this character, you have been another. You, not you. I mean, talking in general. The people we have been forced to be somebody else. So it's like returning back to this Garden of Eden. This is a metaphor for this inner nature. Dharma, logos, the Tao. It's this inner nature. And this inner nature, it's life force, chaotic, uncontrollable, creative life force. This is what we are. We are sons of Gaia, or like Avatar. Imagine the Avatar guys. So imagine that, and maybe it's possible that eons before we were like these people, and then the the before and after with the tie, all the day like this, it's like crazy. So yeah, it's to combat this nature, that it's inside of us, and we are all rebels. So we have been conditioned to be obedient, and our inner nature, it's chaotic and it's rebellious. So that's why the system wants to kill, or like Gautama Buddha said, in the Diamond Sutra, that it's a diamond in the mud. You cannot see the diamond if it's there, in the dirt. But this system has made us to put this diamond, inside of us, repress, in our unconscious. And my work is, to help people to reconnect with that. And only they know what kind of diamond is. I cannot know, maybe I can see, I can perceive, but I'm not inside them. So yes.
That's wonderful. I would have to say, you said our inner nature is chaotic. Honestly, I think I'd have to disagree, man. I know what you're getting at. I don't know if it's chaotic. I would say it's very expressive. And it's definitely rebellious. You mentioned it was rebellious in a way, like especially to the state of the world that we live in. But I would say there is a certain kind of order in how we express. I think when one goes within themselves, it's not truly just like hectic. It's not ultimately chaos. I know what you're getting at, but I would say it's more expressive creation. Like there's something in us when you do find that gem that I feel as though wants to be expressed. Like we want to express our individuality. You know what I mean? Like there is a certain sense of, I think it's just innate creation that is inside of all of us that wants to get out, that has been repressed. Go ahead.
What I see here, maybe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my feeling, that there are some words that this system has banned, and chaos, and people has a lot of negative understanding of what chaos is. A bird, it's a chaotic, natural life. Now it's here, beep, 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 beep. Now it's here, beep, beep, beep. They don't make a plan. And on Monday I'm going to be there, and Tuesday, and all that. All spiritual masters from all times, they talk about to embrace this Tao, and this Tao is chaotic, but not chaotic in terms of its destructive. Chaos can be constructive or destructive. It's all about this. And yes, and it express a bird is all the day expressing, a flower, the fragrance of the flower. But nature, it's chaotic. And chaos has a beautiful thing. What it happens is that in order to create order in the physical world, they have repressed our inner chaos inside. And this is one of the main problems of humanity, And so, and for example, these countries in which there are a lot of cars and not, what's the name of this lighting thing? Traffic lights? Yes.
Traffic lights, yeah.
Yeah. And even with all this chaos, people stop and then flow. So what I mean, it's life, it's like that. Our nature is like that. And we have been educated to be really ordered, to be like robots and like that. So for me, it's to embrace this chaos. It's to embrace this nature, and this nature you cannot. The ego is what controls the truth that it's this nature. So what I transmit, it's to how to let this chaotic natural energy flow in a kind way to respect your environment. For example, I love horses. Horses are or giraffes, they are natural. They are chaotic because they are natural. They are very inharmonious, with the environment. They are very lovely in their communities as animals. So the reference of chaos, what I'm using chaos, it's something like that. I use a lot of words right now, sorry, but it's just to give you the idea that every time I use chaos as nature.
I understand, yeah. I understand. That makes sense, yeah. And it's true, there is a negative connotation to chaos in the world. It seems like, yeah, it seems like, yeah, it seems dangerous, like chaos.
No, it's not dangerous.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though.
Order is what is bringing so much pain in humanity. Too much order.
Well said. So, yeah, how did you get on this wavelength? Where does this all come from for you? That might be a long story. I know, but if we can, put it maybe.
I want to make it as short as possible. Okay.
Okay.
I have to say that I always was introvert being. No, that's not true. I was really extrovert when I was a kid, making friends with old people in the campings. Like the baby Yoda, something like that. All the time, like a kid, a happy kid.
Yeah.
But then in all educational system, I became really introvert. The educational system didn't make good things on me in terms that I was always rebel and didn't. So I was like not accepting this conditioning to me, and then has been, and I always felt that there is more. I know there is more than my eyes can see, than these people is telling me that this is reality. No, I know that it's more. I always had this feeling that the world is magic, not magic, like unicorns and wizards. No, this, that it's something else. And with 18 years old, I went in a parapsychological school, and I learned some things. I saw some things that confirm that yes, this is, this society, this is just a fragment of what reality is.
Yeah.
And then has been a journey like a fish, conscious and conscious, a lot of years. I had 10 years more or less as entrepreneur. And then one day I decided to really go committed with this of spirituality, to really meditate, to really to quit from everything, and this subject become like my, you know, my main thing in my life. And when I was really young, I had that, but I was scared and well, a lot of things, you know. But now I feel that this is now I'm happy because this is what I'm made for, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to say. And the game changer was a love relationship, which I open my heart, I bring my heart there, and I learn a lot. Um, and after that, I decided to, okay, I think that I learn enough for now of what is this relationship with people that, you know, are still in the society mindset, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I learned how to be completely alone and enjoy my aloneness, like, you know, to be, you know, and we are not alone, you know, with any neighbors. Everybody knows me. And when I came here in this city, it was like, okay, I'm like a video game, you know. I have 0% of the map, and I have to learn, you know, how many
Uh-huh.
things are happening here and discover. So it has been a process, but what I can tell you is that from very beginning, I have this magnetism to the beyond, or I don't know how to say it, but I didn't have the courage and the maturity to how to move uh, in that, and I didn't have guidance. I searched for a lot of masters, I have to say, but I saw cheaters, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why for me it's very important to, you know, don't looking for followers, or I don't care all these things, you know. And the same for me. I don't want for the others. So yeah, it has been a life process, but who knows what it's now
Mm-hmm.
beyond now, you know.
I know, right? Yeah, it's still going on, right?
Yeah, yeah, like you, for sure that you have a story to tell, you know, about why you start with this and maybe other things in your life.
Yeah, a little bit of a story, but along the same lines, I guess one could say. Just yeah, knowing that there's more than meets the eye, having that constant curiosity, that constant wonder, following that. But I think we can start to get into this route. Got into psychedelics and
Okay,
specifically mushrooms, and
okay.
that's what really made me realize, oh, there actually is a lot more that's going on than meets the
Mhm,
eye. It was like a confirmation, it was like I always had that idea of, like you said, the beyond, a greater sense of being past the five senses, or just like uh an idea of the magic. But then I got some of the magic mushrooms, no pun intended,
mhm,
and that really opened me up and enabled me to experience. Because I think there's a big difference between knowing the magic, or knowing on a surface level of the mind, and then actually truly experiencing that and having that direct experience of the so-called magic. Um,
hmm,
so yeah, that's what I guess enabled me to be on this path and know that this is the path, to have like a sense of knowing that this is, yeah, this is it. This isn't just like, I'm not just playing around. And almost like it went from almost like a hobby, like spirituality as a hobby, just trying to meditate here and there, into actually taking it serious and as a lifestyle. You know what I mean?
mhm.
So is that similar to you? Like, what's your psilocybin and mushroom experience like?
Okay. Um, all the sacred plants, including psilocybin. I had my period of going a lot of retreats and all these kind of things, etc. Um, and a window to give a real experience. So no words are needed.
Yeah.
That of the beyond and of your inner nature.
Mm.
But it's important to say, and if there are some people listening to us, that nothing that isn't in you or outside you makes the mushrooms connect with that. So the mushrooms So don't confuse, for example, psilocybin and other sacred plants with this illusion others that creates blah, 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 no. Everything that you see, experience is real. So mushrooms give you more, a, like a vision of what is real inside you, what is there, and this true nature that we are talking about.
Yeah.
So mushrooms connect you with this true nature and not only inside outside. It is really important to understand that your level of awareness starts with you. So you have this level of awareness of yourself. What the world that you are capable to see is this one, So mushrooms, and I use mushrooms for my therapies. Not all the therapies, I have to say, but they are a really good tool, and more suitable than ayahuasca, because ayahuasca it's more long. You start vomiting or shitting. It's not pleasant.
Yeah.
It's nice because it's a purge. But for example, for therapies or art discovery or many things, are more suitable mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And mushrooms for me are creatures from the space.
Yeah.
They don't belong to this. I mean, it's something. It's the mystery. For me, it's pure mystery.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, they seem like that. There seems like there is some kind of innate intelligence or some kind of innate spirit within
Mm,
the mushroom organism.
yes, and they are the internet of the planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every living organic organism communicates through this mycelium that are
Yeah.
trillions and trillions. So connection is their purpose, to connect.
Oh, yeah.
And if you take this, I mean, in the physical world, you take this purpose, and then you see, oh, if their purpose is to connect, what happens when I eat them? And in a physical plane, what it does is connects the two hemispheres of the brain, and creates this harmony that it's so hard to find with only meditating and So connection with your being and your soul, connection. It's the purpose. It's the meaning of mushrooms.
Wow, that's well said. I never really thought of it like that, but that's so true. They are the grand connectors of
Mm,
Gaia.
yeah.
Hmm. So I think we spoke about this a little bit in the email exchange. Um, do you feel as though mushrooms in the mushroom experience are, or maybe just the psychedelic experience altogether, are only useful in the right container, in the right set and setting? Is there a way to go about this? Like, what's your way, or what would you describe as the most efficient or pivotal way for one to have the psychedelic or mushroom experience?
I'm going to talk through the role I do. That it's somebody that can help you to become awakened and all these kind of things, in your own way. So mushrooms and psychedelics can be used to help. I mean, to the curve of learning of meditation without any substance. It's really hard. You have to be aware that people in ancient times, they dedicate decades just to meditate, just to reach this point of inner alchemy. Okay. This enlightenment thing is where the two brains become one, and instead of being this guy the master, you are the master, and this guy, it's just your friendly servant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from Zohar, I can tell you that there is a right use of substances that can help with that. But you need awareness. Everything without awareness, But now, even not from Zohar, even mushrooms without awareness, they do good. I mean, even these people that take it just for fun, it's good because you are letting this inner nature express, and you are so repressed, so it's good. Obviously, if you are not aware and you have never let this inner nature express freely, can create some disturbance around you. Okay, and this is when it's not safe in the society speaking. For me, it's everything is safe. But in the society speaking, it's not safe. Why? Because somebody that has been repressed 30 years, it took mushrooms, and depending the quantity, you know, this chaos will be destructive chaos, because it's so repressed time that the energy has not flow. It's like a caged animal,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
So without awareness, it's like a monkey with a knife, uh, but with the small quantities, even with non-spiritual uses, are a medicine. The thing is, maybe the answer is mushrooms are a medicine. The only thing that you need is to understand how to use that medicine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's the thing. Is there a right way to go about it, would you say? Like, is it better for one-on-one? Is it better to have a trusted companion with you? Maybe just by yourself? Like, what would you say to somebody that doesn't know any better? They've never had the experience, right? How to
Okay,
go
so this is
about
for
mushrooms.
somebody that never had the experience. Okay, because the answer for the previous question was really relative. Okay, it's not
Okay.
like yes and no and right and wrong. It's it's not like that. But for somebody that has never took mushrooms, I recommend to make one-on-one with somebody that really knows how to use them.
Mm.
And yes, because to create a safe space in which this energy will flow, and you can be mute, metaphorically speaking, or maybe, well, in one session, the both get the close. Yes, I said okay, and let's relax. You don't need to feel any fear. I mean, we are humans. I felt a lot of blockages in that. Just to relax, you know and don't allow this sexual arousal or this stupidity, like two donkeys in front of each other. It's like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, the other question that you made in groups, what I have experienced in groups, and this is as well for you if you have never took mushrooms, depends. Because if the people of the group are people really disconnected from themselves, and it's probably that this is the common thing, okay,
Yeah.
and you are a very sensitive person, um, these people in this group thing will disturb your attempt to open yourself, and their energies, maybe there are a lot of egoistic, like I don't know, but
Yeah.
if you mix more chaos, you know
Mm-hmm.
more difficult, not to control, but to create a safe space, acceptance with love, many energies. So I recommend to go with group mushrooms or sacred medicines when you have a little bit more experience with maybe one-on-ones. You have open a little bit more, and the intention of going in a group experience, it's more the joy of what's it's going to happen there.
Yeah.
But if you are at the first stage, it's not, for me, it's not recommendable.
Yeah.
Because maybe the experience is going to be from your mind side of perception negative.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the beginning, yes, I recommend to be one-on-ones, and then yes, when you have a little more understanding of yourself, little more, courage, acceptance, and then yeah, it's like going. I don't know. Before going to um, these places with a lot of these aqua parks. So
Yeah.
imagine that going to mushrooms or with 20 people is like going to aqua park, and you know, um, you have never swim. So first you go into a small, a safe place, like with these things, like and then you can go to yeah, higher things.
I see. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It seems to, from what you described, revolve around trust. Like there has to be a element of trust within either the group or the other person, or maybe also within
What
yourself
is
as well?
trust? Let me make you that question
That's
to
a
you.
good one, man. What is
Ah.
trust? I would say truly trusting somebody else is being open. And what I mean by that is like I don't put up any boundaries with someone that I trust. Because I think we all innately, through our conditionings, have these boundaries almost as defense mechanisms. So I feel as though the more you trust someone or something, there's less defense mechanisms. So if we are all innately one consciousness, as they say, there's less barriers to that one consciousness, like us making that connection. There's less of the seeming separation in true trust. Uh, Obviously, it's easier said than done, but I think truly trusting somebody is just truly just being just there's nothing. It's just like I'm an open book to you. Like there's or there's nothing that I'm trying to portray myself as unnatural to you. Like I don't feel as though that you're gonna hurt me. There's like it's hard to explain actually. And you know what? I'd probably have to think about that one a little more because that's a really good question. What is
I
true?
know.
But it's like no defenses, I guess you could say. Like I truly know that you want the best for me. At least I think, or that's how I approach the situation. Like I feel as though that you would want the best for me, and it's almost like giving up a little bit of me, even though it's actually really not. But it's like giving up the
Mhm,
idea of who I think I am to you, in a way.
mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one, but I like that. That's a good question. How would you describe
Um,
trust?
Trust is love. Trust is accept because love is to accept.
I was
That's
gonna
it.
say trust is love too, but I didn't want to I didn't want to go there. I didn't
That's
want.
why I use accept because
Yeah,
love is accept. Love, I mean, love is harmony. Um, for example, between animals, they are trusting all the time.
yeah,
Nature, trust. If you are in your nature, you will be trusting all your time. But this society has conditionals, and the basic work of this society to keep us in a state of distrust, of disconnection, or division, because in this mode we can be easily manipulated. We
hmm,
don't become one as humanity. It's to create all fears or a lot of blockages and buffers to don't let this natural energy
yeah,
flow.
yeah.
So trust is a natural energy.
Mm,
That is my definition of it's yes, it's part of existence.
mm. Yeah, trust is love, man. It really is. And Terence McKenna has popularly said that psychedelics dissolve boundaries. So I feel as though that's what we do is we put up these natural boundaries. I mean, actually, they're unnatural boundaries.
Yes.
We put up these unnatural boundaries with each other. And the psychedelics, or just the whole holistic lifestyle, I guess you could say, the psychedelia realm allows us to just dispel those boundaries and see what's real. And what's real, I mean,
You have
it's
said
love,
a really
man.
interesting thing because this is my whole effort and work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of people are more focused of becoming again. You're coming to healing, and I tell you become this. No, no, no. So you are happiness because
Yeah.
it's your very nature. You are trust. You are love. You are made of this. So the only way to connect with that is instead of looking more outside, it's just to remove the stones that don't let this
Yeah.
natural thing express.
Yep.
Maybe it's too much simple for the mind, but it's like that.
That's what
You
it
know.
is, though. It is so simple. That's what one can find. The like spirituality, enlightenment, awakening, whatever you really, whatever label you want to put on it, doesn't matter. But when it comes down to it, it is simple, and I think it's like meant to be simple. Like it's not meant to be this complicated process. It really is simple because it's us. We're
Yeah,
unveiling our
a
natural
flower
state.
doesn't need to think to how to be a flower.
Yeah, it's simple.
It is.
It blossoms. It's a flower.
Yeah.
So like we have to like it seems to be the spiritual path is just us relearning how to be human. And it's like
No, it's
go
to
ahead.
it's not relearning because nothing must be learned. This is the problem.
Maybe
It's
remember.
unlearn all the damage that the
Mm,
system has made on us because we
yeah,
are pure and I mean, we are love, we are pure. We don't need anything more up on us. It's to remove all these boundaries, all these ideologies, all this
yeah,
rubbish that the system has put on our minds, and this has been working through millennia.
yeah,
And I don't know who they are, what they are. I don't know. Maybe are people from other humanities that they escape some kind of, I don't know. But beings with a lot of knowledge, understanding, has used us along the ages. I know I'm not going to say if they are good, but I don't. For me, it's not good, bad. But this everything, it's so subtle, so it's so refined, the way that we have been disconnected from ourselves, that for me it's not a coincidence at all.
yeah,
But I'm not going to say the Anunnaki. I don't know shit who they are, but
yeah.
the force that has been using us and is still using us, it's there.
Yep.
you know
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, it's not just by accident. It can't be. But it has been over, I do believe the same thing. It has been over hundreds, if not thousands of years,
Thousands.
Babylon, as some may call it.
Yeah.
It's almost like a spell. It's like human beings have been cursed over the years and we're still living through the curse, and it's almost like a last ditch effort that we're living through at this point. Like I feel as
Yes.
though the cat's out of the bag at this point about our natural state, and it seems to be this rift that's happening. It's like the seems to be intensifying, but also us unveiling the true self at the same time, and it's just like this weird sense of polarity in the state of the unconscious of humanity. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making up ideas in my head, but you know what I mean. There just seems to be a lot of people that are lost in the sauce, and then there also seems to be people that are very aligned within themselves. And there's just it's a very strange split or division that it seems to be in the unconscious mind right now between humanity.
We have been used and exploited as we have been exploited, in a cruel way, animals. So, but again, imagine that you. Let's make it funny. Imagine that you
Okay.
are in a video game and you are some guys, that you are controlling humanity for some reasons that I don't know. But you are in the video game and you are, and as long as humanity is growing, and it's expanding the all technology, all the knowledge, because you want more, competent people, you know
Yeah.
so, but at the same time you want to keep them control. So the ways to keep us control has been refined, according to our growth as in our skills, talents, and understanding, all these kind of things. So um, everything has been used to as a tool to this is how I see things, and all technology comes from the military, etc.
Mm.
So anyways, to move this chapter, for me the way to really be yourself is to remove the blockages that are not allowing you to be yourself. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hmm. Would you say there is a sort of similarity, even though we all are individual expressions, all billions of us, um, we have our innate, I don't know, what is it, uniqueness, our innate, just individuality expressed in, Gary or Zohar, which is beautiful, right? That's what makes it beautiful. But would you say that there is a sort of orientation that one comes to, like some kind of commonality that we find in our character when we do unveil the natural state?
I don't understand the question, sorry. Maybe you
So,
can use another words to
yeah, yeah.
transmit the message,
So
because I
we,
really want to respond you.
yeah, yeah, I gotcha. I'm trying to think right now. So when we unveil our natural state, right, we peel the layers back of the conditioning, and
Okay.
we become more refined, and we figure out who we really are. Is there?
Realize what we really are, not who we really are.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
who, it's a projection of the mind.
Yeah.
Because to say who, it's then you have to create a definition. And the very definition kills yourself because you are not, I mean, what you are, it's, cannot be defined. Let's put it in, but please continue.
So when we realize what we are, and we
Yes.
realize this, this unmanifest, undefinable essence that is within
Hmm.
our being, is there a commonality in the way that we align ourselves? So even though you express yourself as Zohar and I express myself as Gary, and whoever's listening in the future may feel as though they went within themselves and found out what they are, is there this is there a common thread, like a common spirit that one can find in our true self, in our true sense of self, like in the way that we act toward the world and toward each other? Like do we become more selfless in a way? Do we become more loving, compassionate, more enthusiastic, more joyous? Like, where would you say is the common
Mm.
thread between all of self-realized beings, if there is one? You understand?
Yes, and it's not easy question because it cannot be defined. But I can use an example.
Okay.
Okay. And you have used selfless or all these kind of things. Imagine a bank of fishes, how they move.
Mm,
They are in synchronicity. It's
yeah.
so beauty, so gentle how they move, and they are together, and they don't think about selfless or no. It's it's a sharing. It's so when for me to be in a constant, more or less, synchronicity with you and other people, it's this common thing that you ask, in the question. It's the common to find this synchronicity
Yeah.
between you and your environment, between you and other people, and then um, if you really are aware that this self is just a small fragment of a small fragment, it's something that helps you to move in this world, but it's not you. Then amazing things and miracles can happen.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Mm,
that's the thing that for me to be in nature and in chaos. Look at the bank of fishes. They are in order, but first in chaos. It's chaos knows order. But when without intention of order, that's the thing. It gets order by itself.
mm,
It's the natural order,
yeah.
not created by something, somebody, or I don't know who they are, but
Yeah. Mm, yeah. We sync up to some kind of creative order, even though it is expressed in our own unique way. That's what I guess I'm getting at, is there's a certain flavor to it and how it's expressed. I don't know how to. It is very similar. I like that metaphor to the school of fish. It's it's yeah, it's aligned to some kind of way, some kind of flow. It seems. Um,
yeah.
I don't know.
And your life is like that. Sometimes you are with alone, maybe you find another, and
Yeah.
then this is love. But love does not possess. The mind was always to possess to, because mind is fixation. The mind is fixed always with something. But if you are flowing with love, then you are alone. Me, you are alone, and then you find
Yeah.
another. And so this is the beauty of life, to really live life in this way. It's very wonderful,
Yeah.
with this freedom, with this. But this go against all the conditioning of I mean, of many people.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Would you say that's what we all yearn for? Is us being able to like you said, flow with love, find this alignment within ourselves. Every single human being, it's almost like we're yearning for the linkage to that common thread of love, but we're just we're never taught how to go about it. Like we're just so far gone in the popular sense of the world on how to really tap into the flow or really connect with God, you could say. Would you say in one way or the other every person is yearning for that, and is that the way to find a sense of peace in this life?
What I can say is that unless you discover this treasure inside you, and then when you discover it, you have to share it.
Yeah.
And when you share it, when you accept your really self totally, then you are ready to accept others. When you really love what you really are, and then you can love others. And this phenomenon to accept yourself and to give and share, it's the most wonderful thing that we can experience.
Yeah.
So for me, life it's this, it's just a sharing. It's lost connection. So for me, humans, it's like we are like a mushroom. It's a spread, connect, but instead of connect, it's this wall. It's always conflicts, and it's unnatural. That's the thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. It's more cooperative than competitive. Our natural state.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah, it seems like you said, when you reach this sort of when you reach this realization of our constant interconnectivity with one another, it does seem almost obligatory to share the love, but not. But because, like you said, that it's like you truly deep down you want to do it, right? There's like it's not, it even goes beyond a want. It's just like that's the flow for you, right? It's just to be of a servant, right? I feel as though in one way or the other we're all servants. So would you say just being a natural servant is your path to peace and happiness, and quite possibly others as well, in one way or the other?
I'm going to put it another way, okay?
Please do.
I'm going to make you a question. How something that is perfect can become more perfect? Uh,
What's that? I'm sorry, you were asking me that?
how something that is perfect can become more perfect?
How can something that's perfect become more perfect?
Yes. But yeah, let's put some seconds there.
Mm, I don't think it can. I mean, how can you perfect perfection even more? I don't.
Ah,
Is that a
yes,
trick
there
question?
is a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way it's this unity fragment into multiple, well, small, not infinite, but fragments that are imperfect, because the perfection is where all these fragments are in the same unity, and then that unity can become more perfect when all the fragments, connects again.
Yeah.
So the natural order, it's connection. The natural order, it's to grow within each other. It's this is love, this connection, this. So this is part of this, because this supreme intelligence that has became fragmented to in order to expand even more, this is like this is the magnetism of all this. We are like, so
Mm.
if we connect with our nature, we will hear listening the song of existence of this connection,
Ah,
you know but
yeah.
this system once creates so noise, but
Yeah.
if there is purity in this connection, all this connection is just, it's looking for uh spirituality, spiral, this ascendance to again become one with the whole. A
Mm-hmm.
Buddha is somebody that has connected with this source, and my feeling is that everybody must do that in this life or maybe another life, but this is the purpose of our soul, is to do this.
Yeah.
And and I don't have any. I'm going to make to say, when I say something that I don't have any, argument or to hold it, I say it. But I have the feeling that this existence is not the only server that exists. There are others. But unless you discover this lesson and connects, and then you are not going to send to another one. We are stuck here.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. I feel that intuitively. That it seems like that. In one way or the other, I feel like it has been described as that in sutras or in Buddhist texts. They didn't use the word server or video game, but it almost seems like it is that in one way, and it's up to us to link up.
Yep.
Link up. Yeah. Oh man, but that's the beauty of this thing, right? Is it's like we have the freedom not to. It's like ultimately, it's like the dream can go on for as long as we want, but it's like within one's own sovereign accord to be able to become the Buddha, like you said, to become the Buddha and link up to the one. But if you don't want to per se, um, you don't have to, right? That's like truly we're truly free in that sense. But you also mentioned it's almost you said that it is in our own, I guess, maybe destiny to do that here, to link up to the one, every single human being. Do you actually think that? Like, do you think that every single human soul will be on that wavelength someday? Like, there's eventually going to be an awakened world, and I know that may seem over idealistic, but would you say our innate destiny here is to be all linked up with the one, and kumbaya, we create heaven on earth?
The thing is, how one that thinks that it's how one that have eyes but has been always closed, can really talk about freedom. I mean, yeah, well, your level of freedom, then it's regarding your level of awareness. This wall is never become a kumbaya, because this wall or this server, let's put it in other words, it's what it is, and it depends on you if you want to stick your soul continuously in this game, in this server, or knowing what it's, beyond that. But this beyond means that you are growing. If you are stuck, yeah, you will reincarnate and coming back here, and yes, enjoy, and yeah, I don't have to do this, yeah, all these kind of things. So it depends on you. But to your soul growth in this game of life existence, I don't know how to name it. This wall is not everything. This is my feeling, but I don't have any clue about it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. So we are just. But my feeling is that this wall is not about this wall. In this world will always be chaos and and subversive forces. Probably it's not going to be harmonious. Look at the people investing going to Mars instead of helping people here. So I mean, look at if this world someday it's going to be harmonious, we are not going that direction, my friend. So who cares about this world? What the important thing, and all teachings of Buddhas, not only Gautama Buddha, is this is not about the world. This is about you. What you want to grow or not?
Right. Yeah.
And the people, it depends. And this is not about following anybody. Today we live in a world full of information. So if you really want to understand, there are ways to do that. So I don't know.
It's up to us all on our own accord, right?
Yes, but when you are in this state, look, I've been unconscious my whole life. I'm not enlightened, so I'm not. Everybody is a Buddha, but with my honesty, I have the feeling that I haven't reached yet this maximum exponential of myself.
Yeah.
Okay, my mind is still sometimes, and depending the context, getting again sovereignty. Okay, but for nothing, even for the all gold of the world, I would like to come back to unconscious life. uh
So wait, say that again. You said you would like to come back?
no, that for nothing I would like to come back to be a sleeper, just robotic, just in fear,
You don't want to come back as that.
no. so
Yeah.
so if I feel so good right now, what it's going after this, because there is more. I know there is more in the mountain. I'm not in the top on the mountain. I see there is, when you start in this process of meditation or true spirituality, because spirituality has become a business and it's disgusting. Okay,
Mm.
but the true spirituality for yourself. Okay, uh, and you start claiming this, you see that there is more, and there is more to explore.
Yeah.
So it's like an inner exploration. Spirituality, instead of going to the Everest, this is a physical exploration with the body. The other, it's like invisible, inner exploration inside.
Mm. Mm.
And mushrooms and all this kind of thing helps, but helps as well more if you have some kind of understanding of things. If not, this understanding can be get by your own experiences, like diving. This psychonauts, this diving inside yourself and getting things and understanding. And you can figure out things and have your own, your own understanding, your
Mm.
own experience.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
So
Oh man.
guys, do a lot of mushrooms. Okay. um, Mushrooms in a world in which is not like subversive and ugly in many aspects are not needed, maybe, but in this world that we have been fucked with a lot of ways,
Yeah.
yes, are good medicine, and can help us to connect with our inner truth
Yeah.
and
I
with the
agree.
energy of love. Because I did many events, I'm still doing events, and you see this fish thing. I use this word because people it's so gentle with themselves, and the conversation are so existential. And I only use 1 gram of microdosing with chocolate, just a small, quantity. Just even people don't feel like drug or whatever. Even it's like so subtle, but enough to let this energy flow. It's so
Mm.
gentle, so beautiful. So yeah, do mushrooms,
Yeah.
please.
In a responsible manner, in the right set and
Of
setting.
course, of course, but
Yes.
how you can be responsible of something you never do before? Yes,
Wait.
I mean, it's like to saying yes, do love with responsibility. Yes, but before that, be responsible with something. I have to understand what it is, and there is so many people are scared about it. So my message is to find somebody that there is many, or groups or retreats or whatever, and yes, don't be afraid of it. It's
Yeah.
going to be really nice, really healing. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And if you see ugly things, it's because a lot of ugly things are inside you.
Mm.
Okay.
And that's
And
okay.
and, and just by knowing that these ugly things are there, you can accept them and then you can move forward,
Yeah.
But this society, we have been conditioned to have this closet of
Mm.
ugly things, that you are afraid of open it. And I connect with a lot of people that themselves are the blockage for their spiritual growth, because they are afraid of what they are going to see of themselves. They don't want to accept all these years being not wrong, but being deceiving themselves. They
Yeah.
invested in this ego, in this role, in this, in this
Idea.
falsity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. Yep. It's nothing to be afraid of, ultimately.
Mm,
That's what I've come to learn from my personal experience with it, is that I did have a lot of fear. I built up a lot of fear to the experience, but that was all just part of the conditioning. The
mm,
psychedelic experience is really not to be feared. It's beautiful beyond beautiful. And really, um, like you said, man, it just opens you up to love. True love. Love that's beyond the concept of love. And that's priceless, man. and I will always revere psychedelics and the whole psychedelic experience for that. Like showing me and enabling me to feel this unbound love, this eternal love that is uh, that's our true being, essentially. That's deathless.
Cannot be expressed. Cannot be
It
expressed.
cannot be expressed. That's why I'm at a loss for words. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
true, man. It opens me up to love, and I guess we'll keep it at that.
Mm.
Yeah,
And let me say something, please,
yeah.
because I detected in many people that after doing psychedelics, they their minds thinks that this experience is something unreal.
Mm, mm-hmm.
So they are afraid of love because they never um, really experience love, and not love through medicines, that is a way, but can be even with another person, with life, we know. So we have been raised up in an environment so miserable that when you connect with this love, it's like that, no, this cannot be real. It's like, and they get back to the matrix world,
Yeah, yeah. You take
so
the blue
people,
pill.
if some, and this is not for you, sorry, but people, if somebody do psychedelics, whatever it happens, it's real. It's not hallucination. It's real. I'm not talking about acids. This is another stuff. But with sacred medicines, everything is real. So
Mm-hmm.
this is at least the vision that we have to pursue in our lives and as humanity. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah.
just yeah, just to be in harmony, accept ourselves, and be love. Don't judge others. Help each other. Start always thinking about you, what I need, what I, because this world full of it's all this chaotic world. It's because it's full of I's, and there are eyes with a lot of power.
Yeah.
So man, be more like a flower than than a robot, please.
I like that, man. I like that. Well said. On that note, I think we can wrap this thing up. You want to keep it
Okay.
at that? You got anything else to say?
No, I'm really glad to connect with you. Um, um, has been really wonderful, this connection,
Mm-hmm.
and for the I have the feeling that we said everything important for people that maybe are interested in psychedelics. And if you are looking for, not you, but you are welcome as well to come to Portugal. I'm here and I do sessions in my apartment, or I move in other places. So, yes, because we need to get some money, right? So, this is the
Yeah.
last thing, but um, do psychedelics whatever you can. Um, in terms of that's, if for you it's something that you never discover it, I mean you never experience it, at least one time alive, do it,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's like falling in love, yeah,
Yeah.
with God.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. It's like falling in love with God. Honestly, yeah, I couldn't have said it any better myself, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time, effort, and wisdom that you brought to this conversation. Uh, yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Appreciate anybody that listened this long. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Keep doing your thing, and I wish you all the best.
Same to you.